Hola guys, ¿qué paso? What's going on? This is Hala Pablo. Let's do a quick Bitcoin video. Bitcoin crashed. I don't have a lot of time, but it should have been no surprise. Anyone who's been following my channel, certainly everyone in my trading group knew this was going to happen. It was inevitable, especially when everyone's talking about it's going up, it's going up. Then you know damn sure it's going down. But quite simply, the way I knew it was going to go down was because of, again, pattern recognition, not because of moving averages, not because of relative strength indexes or anything like that, and certainly not because everyone is saying this on the Bitcoin, on the YouTube Bitcoin channels and on TradingView. No, it's through simple pattern recognition and familiarizing yourself with volume spread analysis in the Wyckoff schematics, distribution, redistribution schematics. In this case, it was a distributional schematic on the micro, but on the macro, I believe it's an accumulation. So we have an accumulation happening right now, but I think we're still going down. There's more blood to come in the forecast. And so on the top graph here, I have a point and figure on the 4-hour, and then on the bottom here, I have a 3-day Wyckoff schematic with the Fibonacci retracements drawn out. Now, if you notice, I did the trading range where we currently are. Now, again, this is on the 3-day. I did the buying climax on this UTAD right here. Here, let me blow this up a little bit so you can see it. This is really important that you guys understand this. If you want to be able to trade, you want to be able to prognosticate and look at price action, kind of get an idea of what it's going to do, regardless of what these noob influencers are saying. Just familiarize yourself with the price action, with the different features of the Wyckoff schematics. And in this case, with this third pump here, we had a UTAD because it distributed down, and this happened back in April of 2021. So that was the first high that registered for Bitcoin after coming out of this whole area here, which we're not going to count. This is the markup. We'll count this area, the January 21st, as the primary supply or the preliminary supply, and then it came up, and then so the buying climax would be this area here, the 65,000 or whatever it was back in April of 21. So that was the buying climax. It came back down, and that was the secondary test. Well, I'm sorry, the automatic rally came down. Now remember, we're looking at a Wyckoff trading range on the macro, which is Bitcoin's life cycle all the way back, from the past 5 years. So then it came back up, secondary test, where it remitigated the 65,000, and it went even a little higher, as secondary tests sometimes do in these trading ranges. This went up to 68,000, and then we had a sell off again. And these are two complete. This is a bull cycle, bear cycle, bull cycle, bear cycle. So if you see, it forms these patterns that look like, it's kind of like this overarching pattern. To me, it looks kind of like a Christmas tree. It goes up and then here, and then again it goes up again. This is the bull cycle, and then down again we go. And here we see that it mitigated the lows, the prior lows that we had at 30,000 back here. This is in May of 22, and then we went even lower. We went below the automatic rally point into this area here, this sign of weakness. This would be a sign of weakness on the macro, and then that touchdown, that was the lowest point that we had, the 14,000 or whatever it was back in November of 22, and then we've come up since then. We've had this bull cycle rally since then that culminated at the all-time high at 70 in the 70s. I forget what it was exactly, 73,000. That when Bitcoin topped out back in March, earlier in March, and then from there, now this would be the upthrust area. So you see, we had a buying climax, automatic rally, secondary test, went all the way down, went beneath the automatic rally, which is actually this should say sign of weakness. This is actually a sign of weakness here, not a sign of strength. And then it built back up, came back up, and we had a UT. And this is the current range where we are. Now this point and figure up here on the 4-hour is this area here. Okay, so this is the detail here. So looking here, and that was just for me to kind of get a kind of visual on it. Yeah. So now the way we know that this area here was distributional was we see this series of lower lows, a series of lower lows starting here. See, now we could do the same thing with Wyckoff here. This could be the BC, the buying climax here. Now we'll be in the micro. This would be the buying climax here. This is the AR. Now notice where the AR is. The AR is the first substantial pullback after the price makes a climactic run, and then supply comes in, major supply. So, and then where it ends, that's the automatic rally. See, like where this point was, this was the automatic rally way back in June of 21 on the macro, and that where it hit 30,000. Well, this is the automatic rally where supply ended in this range here, which makes up the up thrust on the macro. And here, of course, we're in the micro. So the micro automatic rally is 58,000. If 58,000 was a key area, it was a key area here. And so we noticed that we had 1, 2. Now in the latter half of this range, we began to break this this support line, this micro support, and that's not good. That's usually a sign of distribution, especially when we have a lot of demand coming in, like right here, and this produces what's called failures to rally over the up thrust area. So we make a new resistance line, and we have all these buy orders coming in, but nevertheless the price action fails to break new high, or at least flip it and hold the line. Instead, it came right down, and it came right down with overwhelming supply, as you can see here in the volume. And this big supply is coming in and accompanying these lower lows, which is no bueno. These lower lows. See, if the market makers weren't selling, then the price action would hold this support line, or should hold this resistance line. It should flip it where the UT is. We could still have some lateral consolidation, but it shouldn't go this deep. Eventually it flips it. Big demand comes in when it hits around the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, which would be midpoint of this micro range, and then we'd see a bounce, and then it would come back up. So it should have bounced somewhere around here if this was going to continue to pump. We should have held around 64,000. Instead, we went way beneath. We went here, we had a lower one here, and a lower one here, and yet a lower one here. And now we've just had a little rally off that, a $5,000 rally, but you see it's on like hardly any demand. We're not seeing any demand coming in the volume, substantial demand. And so we have tremendous supply still coming in. So that tells me that we could still be in it for, we're still going to be going down a little bit. So let's talk about real quick. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. And let's go here now, where I think, so if we need to hold this here, but it doesn't look like we're going to. We could have some crabbing going on for a little bit, but then I think this is what we're going to see, another redistribution eventually, and we're going to come down. If we come down, the next major support line is going to be the 0.5 Fibonacci on the macro, which is going to be 41,000. So next stop should be 41,000. If we can't hold this current line where we are in the low 50s, we're going to come down another 10 grand. And yeah, this is going to be a key area here. This would mitigate this PSY on the macro here. See, on this, we had the counter trend bull cycle earlier, like last year in December of 23. So this here, this area here is this area here. And price action after topping out likes to usually come down and mitigate the PSY. And that sometimes forms the new base for the next bull cycle. So in this case, this would bring it up around 41,000, kind of like it did here. It would hit here. And then from here, we could see a substantial rally. This would be a lot of profit taking. which needs to happen from this past bull cycle that we had, where they haven't taken profit. Market makers have not taken profit, and I don't know why everyone is so surprised that it's dumping. I mean, these guys need to take profit. You had market makers, you had informed interests that have been holding since this sign of weakness area down here, and they've held it. They've held it all through this cycle. Many of them have sold here, but then they went ahead and rebought, and they're still holding. And so they don't want everyone jump. They don't want to pump this thing up to 100 grand and have all these noobs and all these retail guys holding Bitcoin that they bought up here in this area. The last thing they want to do is pump it to 100 grand for people who bought at 70,000. No, they're gonna make sure that the people who bought the top are punished, and they're gonna dump it. And there are still a lot of people holding, even though the market's bled out billions of dollars, there's still a lot of holders. There's still people that are hodling Bitcoin that they bought at the top here of this UT on the macro. And so how else to flush them out? Well, first they're going to do, they may consolidate a little bit, maybe throw in a couple optimistic pumps, maybe bring it back to midline up around 65,000, entice more retail to jump in, say, oh yeah, see, this was just a bear trap. Now we're going to 100 grand or wherever. Now we're going to the moon. And then once enough have come in, bought up enough supply, they'll dump it again. And then that's how we see these 1, 2, 3, 4 pumps on these tops here. So, and then they'll take it all the way down to 41 at least. And by that time, that's going to scare a hell of a lot of investors out that have been holding bags here. They'll get them to capitulate their positions. And then from here, it'll remain to be seen if it's going to go down further. We may go down. See, that would be the 0.5. We could take it back to the 0.786, which would be 34,000, or the 1.272. Fibonacci retracement, which would be 23. I don't think it's going to go down to the 20s. I mean, I'll be really surprised if we go down to the 20s. That's going to be nuts. But I do think we're going to see low 40s at least before everything is said and done. And this will prove to be a terminal shakeout like we saw here. We may even go down into the 30s. For that terminal shakeout with that candle that's going to wick all the way down here. And then this is going to be the area to put your limit buys, to place your limit buys around $40,000, $38,000, $39,000 to pick up some Bitcoin there, because then it's going to pump back up furiously. So just be on the lookout for this. I'm watching the point and figure charts. One thing that is kind of cluing me in that we're going to go down further is we didn't, even though we had a lift off, we came down, we broke 49. I had a lot of people that were saying that there's no way Bitcoin is going down. There's no way Bitcoin is going down to the 40s. Some of these people have deleted their comments from my videos, and understandably so. I'm sure they feel foolish right now. But, the writing was on the wall. Nevertheless, guys, this recovery rally that we've just had here, this is very meager. This is not optimistic, especially in the volume. Even if we take it down to, let's say, this is on the 3-day, let's take it to the daily. Let's take it to the daily and see what it looks like. I'm going to erase everything here. Can I? Hold on a sec. Remove drawings. Let's just remove drawings. See, there's not even, look at this. Now this is on the daily. This is substantial, guys. Now we have a nice wick, but we don't have any demand coming in. Notice there's no demand. Let's go to the half day and see. Okay, so there's a little bit of demand, but look, it hasn't been enough to engulf this bear candle. It's come up halfway, and the wick, the bottom shadows are about the same. So this is on the 12-hour, so give it another 12 hours and see what happens. But, I think right now the focus is breaking this new resistance line that we have here, this $54,000 line. If we can't break this here, look at all of this. Look at all of this buy power, and we're not able to come up past this area here. So we basically mitigated this low point here. We've mitigated it, and now it remains to be seen. If we don't get more buy power, we're gonna keep going down. And like I said, the next stop is like 40,000, 41,000. So we're gonna keep looking at that. Hey guys, I have reports on Zcash, on XLM, Cardano, Filecoin, and there was something else. I think it was Shiba Inu. I don't remember which one it is, but I'm looking at several of these other coins, other tokens. So if this kind of stuff interests you, be sure to subscribe, subscribe, check out our trading group. You can get more charts and more insight, ask me questions, live chat. If you have a special coin you want me to look at, you want me to look at your portfolio, I'd feel free to do it, but I don't have a lot of time. That's only for Patreons who support me. I don't have sponsors. I'm just a trader. I do this full time. I'm retired, and all I do is trade. So if you could benefit off any of this, I'll teach you how to read the charts the way I read them, and learn how to get accurate forecasts on crypto, especially in these months coming up as we get closer to the election. You're going to want to know what the patterns are saying, and to read those in conjunction with the volume and with the news as a catalyst, using reverse psychology. So I employ all these methods in my charting. So if any of this is of interest to you, be sure to subscribe, and if you'd like to take your trading up a notch, your investing up a notch, your technical analysis and chart reading, then check out our group. I keep it extremely affordable, $20 a month, and we can look at all these coins together. And so I look forward to seeing some of you. Take care. Thanks again for tuning in, and have safe and happy trading. We'll talk to you real soon. Leave a comment. God bless you guys. Adios. Bye-bye. Bye.